Ladies and gentlemen, it's me, Mike. This is NXT The Game, Season 2, Episode 5. I am here tonight with my 5-year-old son, Cohen. Cohen, what's going on, buddy?
Well, I don't know what the matches are, but I'm going to be surprised then.
He's going to be surprised, folks. We have a couple pre-show matches. 3, I think. Let's get straight into the action tonight, Cohen. It's going to be a star-studded event for sure. In the match, it has some good action, but not much in the way of heat. Neville defeated Chuck Taylor in 8 minutes with the Red Arrow. The next pre-show match featured Becky Lynch defeating Emma with the Hard Knocks. And lastly, we had Samoa Joe and Apollo Crews defeated Dash and Dawson via pinfall. Cohen, we're going to get straight into NXT this week. Are you ready, buddy?
Yes.
Here we go. The camera picks up a fully loaded Cadillac Escalade rolling up to the arena. The door swings open, and it's none other than the Sasha Box of Banks. Sasha gets out, and 2 men come from behind and begin to wheel her luggage in. Sasha slowly makes her way into the hall until a door catches her eye, an all-gold door. The door reads with the logo on it, NWO Gold, and she looks around with a smirk. She turns around and sees an extra door right next to it, also gold, that says Sasha. A big smile comes across her face, and she now opens the door, finding tons of flowers, beverages, and amazing furniture. Sasha turns around to close the door, and the smile now is in full force, ear to ear. So the NWO is still trying to get Sasha to join, Cohen. Alright. The camera rolls showing Renee Young and Corey Graves welcoming the fans to the NXT show. The camera now pops up and shows William Regal in the back as they erupt, watching what they transpire backstage. Candice LeRae and Bayley. So good you have the backs, they say together. William Regal. Well, yes. I had to explain my actions to the board after doing what I did to defeat James Storm, but it was for the good of NXT, says Regal, smirking. Just like you ladies facing the beautiful people at NXT TakeOver. Sold out. The fans boo. Bayley, unfortunately, your x-rays aren't quite as clear as we would like. Bayley looks upset. But fear not, Bayley. You'll still face the beautiful people at TakeOver, the group who's been beating you up. But we're going to do it a little bit differently. It's going to be the entire beautiful against Candice LeRae, Bayley, and Becky Lynch, he says, smiling. Thank you, Regal. Candice LeRae. Ready to get my hands on them. William Regal. Of course, ladies, of course. Fade. So that's right. We have the beautiful people taking on Bayley, Candice LeRae, and who? Becky Lynch. All right. In the first match, La Sombra in his debut match defeats Ty Dillinger in 6 minutes with a Brilliante driver. So La Sombra, our new masked luchador, Cohen, gets the victory. This was his debut. Alright, now the camera turns to the back and shows Mr. NXT with his NXT Television Championship and his NXT Money in the Bank briefcase. Mr. NXT begins to speak. The returning Mr. Regal has booked me and Samoa Joe in the main event 2 weeks away on NXT. The fans cheer at the sound of Samoa Joe's name. Why Regal thinks Samoa Joe is even deserving of a match versus someone like me is beyond me. The fans boo. You see, I have one singular goal, Cohen. That goal is to become the NXT champion. And in a few weeks at NXT TakeOver Sold Out, that goal is going to be realized as I defeat Bo Dallas in the middle of that ring. 1, 2. Mr. NXT turns to his left as Jay Lethal walks up. I'm sorry, are you in the middle of something? Mr. NXT turns away from the camera now and gets into the face of Jay Lethal. What's your problem, Lethal? Asks Mr. NXT. With you? Nothing, says Jay Lethal to Mr. NXT, looking at his title. I just want a shot at that TV championship of yours. Well, we can't always get what we want. The fans boo. Jay Lethal says, You're right. You are right. He begins to walk away. But hey, did you hear? Next week, I'm one of the 4 wrestlers in the Fatal 4-Way to determine the NXT Television #1 contender, he says. And get this, Regal doesn't even care about your I'm not defending it on the pay-per-views ideas, he says, laughing. He says the winner next week will go on to face you at NXT TakeOver Sold Out. He laughs again. Hey, aren't you facing Bo Dallas at the pay-per-view? Looks like you're going to have to wrestle in 2 matches, huh? Hilarious. Mr. NXT looks very upset at the news, Cohen.
No, I did not know that.
In a match that has some good action but not meant to be of heat, Bo Dallas defeats Beef Busick in 8 minutes with the Bo Dog. So this was a match just to get the NXT champion Bo Dallas a win. Now, another debut, Cohen. William Regal shows up with a knock on the door. William Regal looks up very happily. Damn it, Jason, you look great. The camera pans up to show Albert. Damn right I do, Regal, he says. Let me be your muscle. Let me be your bodyguard. There's so much pairing up in the back. I don't want to see you on the wrong side of the numbers game, William. Regal laughs. You don't have to ask twice, my old friend. The two shake hands. They're old friends, Cohen. They knew each other from WWE back in the day. Albert says, I do want one thing, though. The fans wonder what he wants. Give me Kevin Owens, William. Give me Kevin Owens a takeover sold out. That punk kid needs to have the respect beaten into him. Regal smiles. Done. The scene fades away with Kevin Owens and Albert booked for NXT Takeover sold out. So he's fighting Kevin Owens, Cohen. Big match. A promo. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. I wonder what that is. What do you think that is?
Yeah.
We have no idea. He's telling me in my ear that I know. I do know, but no one else knows. All right. In the match, that's some good action and average heat. Drew McIntyre defeated Chad Gable in 10 minutes by pinfall with the Scott drop after Alexa Bliss distracts him. What the heck? She's with Blake and Murphy, isn't she? This week, Alexa Bliss has just cost Chad Gable a singles match, and Gable isn't quite sure why. Gable gets up and starts to talk to Alexa Bliss, who is just smiling at him very sweetly. Down comes Jason Jordan with his hands in the air, who gets the flirtatious treatment this time around. Very confused, as well as Alexa just deeply stares into his eyes, flirting before walking back up the ramp. Strange, Cohen. I have no idea what's going on.
Me either.
Now Alexa Bliss can be seen a moment later walking through the backstage area when Tom Phillips walks past and grabs her. Tom Phillips, Alexa, can I get a moment? Alexa Bliss, sure Tom, she says, flipping her hair. What's your interest in Gable and Jordan? Alexa flips her hair again and smiles. Who wouldn't be interested in Jordan and Gable? I mean, look at them. They're former Olympians. All-Americans. What's not to like about those cute boys? The fans boo and cheer at Alexa as she continues, and they appear to be without a manager. The scene fades as Alexa Bliss, who walks away from Tom Phillips smiling without a pep in her step. So, does Alexa Bliss want to manage Gable and Jordan Cohen? I'm not sure, but she's acting like it. Renee Young. In 2 weeks, Cohen, we're going to see Finn Balor take on Baron Corbin in the main event of NXT. That should be a fantastic matchup, Renee, says Corey Graves. An absolutely fantastic matchup. We also just found out that next week, American Alpha, Jordan and Gable, are going to take on Drew McIntyre and Tyler Breeze, Corey. Another great matchup, Renee. NXT continues to deliver stellar cards. Another good matchup, Co.
Yep.
All right, and in the main event, that had some good action and average heat. Sami Zayn defeated Johnny Gargano in 15 minutes via submission. After having just beat Johnny Gargano, Sami Zayn looks around absolutely exhausted. Gargano took him to his limits, and he was not expecting Gargano to do that. The fans are on their feet clapping and cheering for both wrestlers as Zayn reaches down and helps Gargano up to his feet. Gargano looks at Zayn, who shakes his hand and gives him a half hug before pointing to Gargano and saying, "Whoa, I wasn't expecting that." The fans cheer for Gargano and then start a "Sammy, Sammy" chant as he grabs a mic. Finn Balor, the fans begin to boo. At the end of Season 1, you defeated me at TakeOver Legacy, says Sami Zayn. We know how you defeated me and what action you took in place to securing the victory. The fans boo. Sami Zayn. Well, if you haven't heard, Commissioner Regal's back, and he and I had a little talk earlier. The fans begin to chant Sami Zayn's name again. And if you don't get where I'm going with it, at NXT TakeOver Legacy, you and I, Finn, we're going to have another match. Sami Zayn looks to Gargano again. Sami Zayn. And since you'll be coming fast and hard with the Bullet Club watching your back, Finn Balor, with the Balor Club watching your back, I'm wondering if you and Tommaso, your partner, would mind having my back and helping me. The fans cheer Sammy, Sammy, and then begin to chant Johnny wrestling at Gargano. Gargano takes a few steps forward and extends his hand, shaking Zayn's hand, sealing the deal. Gargano and Ciampa will have Sami Zayn's back at NXT sold out. Johnny Gargano, you got it, Sammy. We got your back. The fans cheer again as Sami Zayn looks around happy and points to Gargano, who smirks, and NXT fades for the week. So, Johnny Gargano pushed Sami Zayn to his limit in a match, Cohen. We weren't expecting it, but he did. And it's going to be Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn at NXT TakeOver sold out. What do you think about that?
I'm not expecting that or about anything else happen in any match.
That was crazy. All right, let's see what happened. We increased popularity in 5, lost in 1. Cohen, this was NXT Season 2, Episode 5. We will be back tomorrow with another stellar, fantastic card for you. Thank you for watching, everyone. and have a great night.
Yep.